There can be problems when legislation is rushed through, say, for example, in response to an economic collapse. But according to commentator Jason Rosenbaum, there can also be possibilities.
Jason Noble is a running monster. The Kansas City Star's Capitol Bureau reporter and I ran a 5K a couple of weeks ago in Jefferson City. Noble, a Kansas native who used to run cross-country when he was younger, almost certainly set a new speed record amongst the Capitol Press Corps, finishing the race around 19 minutes and 30 seconds. Needless to say, that was faster than my partly time of 24 minutes and 32 seconds. It's not that I did poorly, but if I ever want to compete with the Sultan of Speed, Jason Noble, I'm going to have to make some drastic changes. To meet this goal, I could meticulously work at altering my running stride and pacing, which could take years to fully implement, or cheat and take steroids. Logically, the second option makes no sense. Why try and take a shortcut to excellence when it can be obtained through hard work, trial, and error? Unfortunately, some people and sub-governmental entities take drastic measures to achieve goals. That's especially the case in the midst of an economic downturn. President Barack Obama pointed to the economic climate as impetus to get a federal stimulus package passed post-haste. Congress passed the package scant weeks after Obama was sworn into office, a major legislative victory for the first-term Democratic president. But Republicans objected to the bill's progression through the legislative process. They noted that the package was expedited so quickly that it was a logical impossibility that anybody had a chance to actually read the entire piece of legislation before voting on it. Those warnings seemed to come back into the public consciousness last week. That's when reports began to abound about how an amendment placed into the stimulus bill essentially protected government-funded bonuses being divvied out to AIG employees. The bonus fracas stoked public outrage and is threatening to weaken the momentum of Obama's domestic policy agenda. But the thing that struck me was Senator Max Baucus's explanation about why the amendment made it into the stimulus package at all. The Montana Democrat said, and I quote, "Frankly, it was such a rush to get it passed. I didn't have time, and other conferees didn't have the time, to address many of the provisions that were modified significantly." In Missouri, it is becoming almost customary to shove through a host of bills during the last few days of the legislative session. Some Democrats say that's a recipe for passing bad things into law. It's a tricky balance. Certainly, doing nothing in the face of economic collapse and uncertainty would elicit widespread criticism, and it's far too early to gauge the stimulus package's success or failure. But this past week showed the value of slowing down a bit during the legislative process in order to get things just right. As for my quest to beat Jason Noble in a foot race, forget it. There are some challenges that are just too steep to overcome. I'm Jason Rosenbaum.
Thanks for tuning in this week to Talking Politics. You can hear a podcast of this show and check out some of our web extras on our website at kbia.org. I'm Sarah Whitmire.